sometimes my father would talk about a film, and then with his brothers or aunts and uncles, and somebody would say, well, they can't do that in a movie. Oh, they can't. No, they can't show that, or they can't do that. But I was, as a child, I was wondering, why not? Why can't we tell the stories they're not supposed to tell?
Killers of the Flower Moon is a masterclass in filmmaking. It's historical, cultural. This film is based on a true story. It's actually based on a book that the director got his hands on, and he said he just had to make a movie about this story.
They lived with them, they loved them, but they killed them. And that's interesting. That also reflects who we are as a Western culture itself, European culture. What are the values that we brought to this new land? And this story seems to hit right at the heart of that.
Money flows freely here now.
I do love that money, sir.
The fact that the story is based on real events is sad, but it also does add some weight and gravity to what you're watching. The subject matter is pretty heavy, and there's a lot of terrible things that happen to the Osage Nation, but there's definitely a deep appreciation and respect for their culture. The production team worked closely with the Osage to tell this story accurately, and it really shines through. I think the performances is one of the strongest parts about this movie, and the lineup is incredible. Basically, the three main characters that we see on screen, they all deserve Oscar nominations. Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, and Lily Gladstone really are the heart and soul of this movie. Their performances are so captivating, and they really immerse you in this film. DiCaprio and De Niro are in their absolute best form. Whenever these two are on screen together, there's so much organic chemistry. It's no surprise that Martin Scorsese would want to work with De Niro after decades of success together, and he's had success with DiCaprio as well.
Just like this, just like you told me. I promise you, I swear on my children.
No.
I swear on my children, King.
Sit. And don't swear on your children. Makes you look foolish.
But we can't leave out Lily Gladstone. She really carries the emotional weight of the plot. Her facial expressions and the way that she uses her eyes to communicate all of the emotions and all of the pain that happens. I would not be surprised if Martin Scorsese wins Best Director at the Oscars for his incredibly difficult job of forming this film. He's been directing films longer than most people in Hollywood have been alive. His ability to create an immersive and authentic world that the audience can jump into really takes a lot of skill. Scorsese is 80 years old at the time of releasing this movie, and the film does reflect his age. There's no visual effects, it's simple, straightforward. Sure, it can be slow and dry at some parts, but overall the project reflects who he is in his life right now. He is a part of the boomer generation, which ultimately means that he doesn't care what you think. So you gotta respect his vision and his boldness to make something that appeals to him and his generation. As far as the editing goes, I really loved the first half of the movie. The pacing is sharp as they start to build the drama and suspense as more members of the Osage Nation are being murdered. Scorsese is known for having a slow burn effect in his editing, but one of my only complaints is that there wasn't a strong payoff in the third act of the story. The pacing really starts to slow down in the second half of the movie, and personally I think it could have been an hour shorter than what it was. I have nothing against movies with long runtimes though. I love movies like Oppenheimer, Endgame, and Return of the King, so it's not the length of the runtime that matters so much to me, it's more of how it's used. I really could see this movie aging like fine wine. It has this timeless quality. It's an important moment in American history that needs to be reflected on. Killers of the Flower Moon is historical, it's cultural, it's a bit too long for my taste, but overall a fantastic film in 2023. Go watch the movie and let me know what you think about it. If you want to learn how Martin Scorsese edits his movies, tap on the video on your screen and I'll explain the editing process for filmmakers.